We're officially in a new Lakers era. Last night was Luka's first game as a Laker, and the Lakers looked amazing. The Lakers absolutely dominated last night. They controlled the game from the start and never let up. The numbers tell the whole story. They shot an insane 54% from the field, had 7 different players score in double digits, and completely dismantled the Jazz. This team is rolling, and they're making it look easy. LeBron James was doing it all. He dropped 24 points, dished out 8 assists, and grabbed 7 rebounds. He was aggressive, efficient, and set the tone from the jump. His court vision was on full display, finding teammates left and right while keeping the offense flowing. He even added a steal, just to put the icing on the cake. He was in complete control, playing at his own pace and making it impossible for the Jazz to get comfortable. Austin Reeves was everywhere. He finished with 22 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block. That's a complete performance. He was relentless on the glass, fighting for extra possessions and making sure the Lakers stayed in control. His playmaking was sharp, his scoring was smooth, and his activity on defense was exactly what they needed. Every time the Lakers needed a big play, Reeves delivered. Luka made his highly anticipated Lakers debut, and even though he was on a minutes restriction, he still made his presence felt. He played just 24 minutes, but still managed 14 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. That's ridiculous efficiency. He looked comfortable out there, moving the ball, getting to his spots, and showing exactly why he's one of the best in the league. He didn't even have to play in the fourth quarter because the Lakers were already in full control. That just shows how dominant they were from start to finish. Rui Hachimura was a huge fact. He poured in 21 points, grabbed 6 rebounds, and snagged 2 steals. He was aggressive, attacking the paint, knocking down shots, and making sure the Jazz had no room to breathe. His versatility on both ends gave the Lakers a massive boost. He's been stepping up in a big way lately, and this game was no different. Jordan Goodwin was a difference maker. He finished with 17 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, and 2 steals. He brought energy, hustle, and an extra level of toughness. He was attacking the glass, making plays in transition, and locking in on defense. Every time the Jazz tried to get something going, Goodwin was there to shut it down. Jaxson Hayes made the most of his minutes. He put up 12 points, grabbed 2 rebounds, dished out 2 assists, swiped 3 steals, and even added a block. That's an insane level of production in limited minutes. He was making plays all over the floor, bringing energy and effort every single time he touched the ball. He was a force in the paint and gave the Lakers an extra edge. Gabe Vincent added 11 points and 4 assists, playing a key role in keeping the offense moving. He was knocking down shots, setting up teammates, and playing with confidence. Dorian Finney-Smith chipped in 4 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, and 2 steals. He might not have stuffed the stat sheet, but his presence was felt on both ends of the floor. He was active on defense, hustling for rebounds, and doing all the little things that help teams win. This team is on fire. That's now 12 wins in their last 14 games. They led by as many as 34 points, completely dominating every aspect of the game. The Jazz just couldn't keep up. The Lakers were faster, sharper, and more locked in. Utah had no answers for this level of firepower, and it showed from the opening tip. The depth on this team is ridiculous. 7 players scoring in double figures is no joke. They're sharing the ball, attacking from every angle, and making it impossible for teams to keep up. It's not just the stars getting it done. Everybody is stepping up and making an impact. The chemistry is clicking, the energy is through the roof, and they're making a statement every single time they step on the floor. Utah just looked overwhelmed. Laurie and John Collins both finished with 17 points, but outside of that, the Jazz struggled to get anything going. They've now lost 9 straight on the road, and the Lakers made sure to keep that streak going. They forced Utah into tough shots all night, locked in on defense, and made sure there was no path back into the game. The atmosphere was electric. The stars were out in full force, with Adele, Will Ferrell, Flea, Chad Smith, and even Mavericks legend Dirk Nowitzki sitting courtside. This was the perfect debut for Luka, and the Lakers put on an absolute show. The fans were into it, the energy was unreal, and the Lakers made sure to deliver a performance that matched the hype. This team isn't just winning, they're dominating. The chemistry is on point, the depth is incredible, and they're firing on all cylinders. If they keep playing at this level, the rest of the league is in serious trouble. They've got the talent, the momentum, and the confidence to keep this run going. And based on what we saw last night, nobody's slowing them down anytime soon. But everyone knows what happened with the Mark Williams trade, so a lot of people are worried about the Lakers center problem. So I want to take a look at a few players who are going to be important for this new Lakers era and what they mean to the team, starting with Hayes. He stepped up in a huge way against the Jazz, going a perfect 6 for 6 from the floor for a season-high 12 points while grabbing 3 steals. That's the type of impact the Lakers need from him night in and night out. And with Luka in the lineup now, Hayes' role just became even more crucial. The Lakers were expecting to have Mark Williams as their new starting center, but with him back in Charlotte, that job belongs to Hayes. And based on what he just showed, he's more than ready for the challenge. His athleticism, efficiency, and defensive presence make him the perfect fit alongside this star-studded lineup. He doesn't need a ton of touches to be effective, and that's exactly what makes him so valuable. By the way, if you guys enjoy these deep dives, I'll be posting every day during the season. I genuinely appreciate if you could subscribe. Thanks. Anyways, Hayes. For the season, Hayes is scoring just under 6 points per game, but the way he gets those points is what makes him so dangerous. He's scoring more efficiently than 96% of players in the league, putting up 1.4 points per field goal attempt. That's insane efficiency. His effective field goal percentage sits at an absurd 69.6%, ranking him higher than 97% of players in the NBA. That's what happens when you play smart, take good shots, and finish everything around the rim. His true shooting percentage is even more ridiculous at 71.5%. That means every time he takes a shot, he's maximizing his scoring potential. He doesn't force bad looks, he doesn't settle, and when he gets the ball in the paint, it's almost automatic. That's going to be huge for this Lakers team, especially with Luka and LeBron James creating so many easy opportunities. And he's not just an offensive weapon. Hayes has been holding his own on the defensive end as well. His defensive rating sits at 112.2, which puts him ahead of 75% of players. That's a huge deal for the Lakers, who need all the rim protection they can get. He's averaging 1 block and nearly 1 steal per game, while pulling down almost 3 defensive rebounds per contest. That's a level of activity that makes a real difference. But it's not just individual defense that makes him valuable. It's how much his presence changes the game for the team. The Lakers are 3.2 points better per 100 possessions with Hayes on the floor compared to when he's off. That's a massive impact for a guy who doesn't even have a high usage rate. He's doing all the little things, setting screens, contesting shots, finishing lobs, and cleaning up the glass, and it's leading to wins. Speaking of rebounding, Hayes is quietly one of the most effective rebounders on the team. He's grabbing 4.2 rebounds per game, with 2.9 of those coming on the defensive end and 1.3 on the offensive end. His offensive rebounding percentage is at 7.6%, ranking him higher than 69% of players. That's a huge deal for second chance opportunities. When shots go up, Hayes is crashing the boards, keeping plays alive, and giving the Lakers extra possessions. His defensive rebounding percentage sits at 15.34%, and while that's not the highest number in the league, it's still better than a lot of players at his position. The Lakers don't need him to be a dominant rebounder. They need him to be active, battle for boards, and make sure they're limiting second chance opportunities for the other team. So far, he's doing exactly that. Another big reason Hayes is such a perfect fit for this team is his ability to contribute without needing a high usage rate. He's only using 11.6% of the Lakers' offensive possessions when he's on the floor, ranking him lower than 89% of players. But that's what makes him so effective. He doesn't need the ball in his hands to make an impact. He's efficient. He plays within the flow of the game, and he capitalizes on the opportunities that come his way. He's only taking 3.4 shots per game, but when he does take them, they count. He's also getting to the free throw line 1.5 times per contest, which might not seem like a huge number, but when you're shooting over 70% from the field, every extra free throw is a bonus. He's not turning the ball over much either, averaging just under 1 per game, which shows that he's playing smart and making good decisions. His on-off numbers show just how important he is. When he's on the floor, the Lakers are slightly worse in point differential compared to when he's off, but that doesn't tell the full story. His presence alone forces teams to adjust. He's giving them rim protection, rebounding, efficient scoring, and energy. And now that he's officially the #1 center moving forward, those numbers are only going to get better. The Lakers need Hayes to be a consistent presence, and he's already proving that he can be. He just put together one of his best performances of the season, and he did it in a game where the Lakers were firing on all cylinders. That means he wasn't just getting empty stats, he was contributing to winning basketball. The Lakers are 12-2 in their last 14 games, and Hayes' impact is growing with every matchup. He's not going to put up massive scoring numbers, but he doesn't have to. He's there to play his role, do the dirty work, and make life easier for the stars. And now, with Luka in the mix, his job is going to get even easier. Luka is one of the best creators in the league, and Hayes is the perfect lob target for him. The way Luka controls the game, finds teammates, and manipulates defenses is going to make Hayes' job even simpler. All he has to do is roll to the rim, finish when he gets the ball, and stay active on defense. If he does that, the Lakers are going to be an even bigger problem for the rest of the league. Hayes is in the perfect situation. He's playing with two of the best playmakers in the game, he's got a defined role, and he's showing that he can handle it. The Lakers might not have gotten Mark Williams, but they don't need him if Hayes keeps playing like this. He's efficient, he's athletic, he's active, and he's only getting better. Now that he's locked in as the #1 center, expect his numbers to keep climbing. But then next to him, equally as important for this team, Vando. Vanderbilt is officially the defensive anchor for this team. With LeBron James and Luka handling the offense, it's Vanderbilt's job to make sure the Lakers are locked in on defense every single possession. And based on the numbers, he's more than ready for the challenge. His impact is undeniable, and the stats prove just how important he is to this team's success. His net rating is absolutely absurd. When Vanderbilt is on the floor, the Lakers are outscoring teams by 23.5 points per 100 possessions. That's a ridiculous margin. His offensive rating sits at an elite 129, while his defensive rating is an incredible 105.5. That's a massive gap, and it shows just how much of a difference he makes. He's completely shutting down opponents while giving the Lakers a major boost on offense just by doing the dirty work and keeping plays alive. He's played in games with a positive plus-minus 87.5% of the time. That's not a coincidence. That means nearly every time he steps on the floor, the Lakers are winning those minutes. And when he's off the court, the team's point differential actually drops by 1.3. That's how valuable he is. His presence alone tilts the game in the Lakers' favor. His defense has been next level. His mixed team defense ranking is in the 96th percentile, meaning he's one of the best defenders in the entire league. His ability to guard multiple positions, contest shots, and force turnovers makes him an absolute nightmare for opposing offenses. He's averaging 1.4 steals per game, constantly disrupting passing lanes and creating transition opportunities for the Lakers. Even though he's not blocking a ton of shots, his defensive efficiency is elite, keeping opponents uncomfortable and forcing them into bad decisions. And it's not just his individual defense that makes him so valuable, it's how much he impacts the entire team. When he's out there, the Lakers' defensive efficiency drops to 105.5, which ranks him higher than 95% of players. That means when Vanderbilt is in the game, opposing teams are struggling to score at an elite level. He's contesting everything, switching seamlessly, and making life miserable for whoever he's guarding. His rebounding is just as crucial. He's averaging 6.1 rebounds per game, with 4 coming on the defensive end and 2.1 on the offensive glass. His rebounding ability is elite, ranking him above 98% of players. That's massive for a team that thrives on second chance opportunities and needs someone to secure defensive boards. His offensive rebounding percentage sits at a ridiculous 14.53%, meaning he's grabbing offensive boards at a higher rate than 92% of players. That's huge for this team. Every time he crashes the glass, he's keeping possessions alive, creating extra scoring chances, and making sure the Lakers stay in control. His defensive rebounding percentage is just as strong at 22.7%, showing that he's securing stops and preventing second chance points. And the best part, he's doing all of this without needing a high usage rate. He's only using 10.6% of the Lakers' offensive possessions, which is lower than 95% of players. That means he's making a massive impact without taking shots away from the stars. He's averaging just over 3 field goal attempts per game, half a free throw attempt, 1.4 assists, and less than 1 turnover per contest. He's playing smart, efficient basketball, and it's leading to wins. His role is simple, but absolutely crucial. While LeBron and Luka handle the scoring and playmaking, Vanderbilt is responsible for locking down the opposing team's best players, cleaning up the glass, and making sure the Lakers' defense stays elite. He doesn't need to take a ton of shots. He doesn't need to dominate the ball. He just needs to do what he does best, and that's exactly what he's been doing. The Lakers need Vanderbilt to be that defensive force every single night, and he's proving he can handle that responsibility. He's been a game changer on both ends, and his ability to impact the game without needing the ball makes him invaluable. He's anchoring this team's defense, and as long as he keeps playing like this, the Lakers are going to be an absolute nightmare for the rest of the league. And besides him, if you've been watching Laker games recently, you know there's one dude who's been on fire. And Goodwin is making a serious case to be a permanent piece of this Lakers squad. While all eyes were on Luka's debut, Goodwin stole the show off the bench with an incredible performance. In just 22 minutes, he put up 17 points, grabbed 8 rebounds, and dished out an assist while playing high-energy, efficient basketball. He gave the Lakers a massive spark, and if he keeps improving, he's going to be a major asset for this team moving forward. The Lakers originally signed Goodwin to a two-way contract after waiving Armel Traore, but now there's real momentum building for him to earn a full-time spot on the roster. Fans are already calling for the team to waive Shake Milton to make room for Goodwin, and based on what he's shown, it's hard to argue against it. When you have a player who comes in, makes an immediate impact, and helps your team win, you find a way to keep him. And if he keeps producing like this, the Lakers are going to have no choice but to make that move. His numbers so far have been nothing short of impressive. He's averaging 13.5 points per game, which ranks him ahead of 78% of players in the league. That's insane production for someone who just got a shot with the team. But what makes it even crazier is that he's not just putting up points. He's doing it with incredible efficiency. His effective field goal percentage is an absurd 72.2%, ranking him higher than 98% of NBA players. That's elite level shot making, and it shows that when he gets the ball, he makes the most of every opportunity. And if that wasn't impressive enough, his true shooting percentage is even higher at 75%. That means every time he takes a shot, he's maximizing his scoring potential. He's averaging 1.5 points per scoring attempt, which is beyond efficient. He's knocking down shots at a ridiculous clip, finishing strong at the rim, and taking high percentage looks that help the Lakers offense stay effective. He's not forcing bad shots. He's not wasting possessions. He's just playing smart, efficient basketball, and that's exactly what the Lakers need from him. But Goodwin isn't just about scoring. He's making a massive impact all over the floor. He's pulling down 6 rebounds per game, ranking him higher than 85% of players. That's unheard of for a guard. He's constantly attacking the glass, fighting for loose balls, and giving the Lakers extra possessions. His energy and effort make a huge difference, especially for a team that thrives on second chance opportunities. His rebounding numbers are ridiculous. He's averaging 3.5 defensive rebounds and 2.5 offensive rebounds per game. His offensive rebounding percentage sits at 10.42%, putting him ahead of 71% of players in the league. That means he's grabbing offensive boards at an elite rate for his position. He's keeping plays alive, securing extra shots for the Lakers, and giving them an edge in tight games. His defensive rebounding percentage is just as strong at 15.91%, meaning he's doing his job on the other end too. He's not just relying on the bigs to clean up misses, he's getting in the mix and making sure the Lakers control the boards. And the best part, he's doing all of this without being a high usage player. His usage rate is just 17.5%, meaning he's making a massive impact without needing the ball in his hands all the time. That's exactly what you want from a role player. He's not out there hunting for shots, he's letting the game come to him, playing within the system, and making every possession count. He's only taking 9 field goal attempts per game, averaging just half a free throw attempt, dishing out 1 assist, and turning the ball over only once per contest. He's taking smart shots, playing efficient basketball, and not making careless mistakes. His turnover percentage is ridiculously low at just 9.09%, meaning he's not making bad decisions or forcing anything. He's taking care of the ball, playing under control, and making sure he's doing whatever it takes to help the Lakers win. That type of reliability is huge, especially for a team that needs consistent contributions from its bench. Goodwin's impact is already being felt, and if he keeps improving, the Lakers are only going to get better. His ability to contribute on both ends of the floor gives them another weapon off the bench, and his versatility makes him incredibly valuable. He's not just a scorer, he's a rebounder, a hustler, and a player who's willing to do all the little things that help a team win games. And let's talk about his defense. He's not just giving the Lakers production on offense, he's playing with a defensive intensity that's exactly what this team needs. He's a scrappy, physical guard who's not afraid to get into passing lanes, pressure ball handlers, and disrupt opposing offenses. He's already shown he can be a difference maker on that end, and the more comfortable he gets, the more impact he'll have. He's got the size, the strength, and the instincts to be a real factor defensively. The Lakers need players like Goodwin, guys who don't need the ball in their hands to make an impact. He's proving that he belongs in the rotation, and if he continues to put up performances like the one against the Jazz, the Lakers will have no choice but to lock him in as a full-time member of the roster. He's a hidden gem, and the more he develops, the more dangerous this team becomes. The bottom line is simple. If Goodwin keeps improving, the Lakers bench unit is going to be a serious problem for the rest of the league. He's playing with confidence, he's making the right plays, and he's showing that he can be a real asset in this rotation. If the Lakers commit to keeping him around, they're only going to get better. And that's a scary thought for the rest of the league. But of course, this new era really comes down to 2 players, LeBron and Luka. They have only played 1 game together so far, but it is already obvious that everything revolves around them. This entire team is designed around their ability to command the offense, set the pace, and elevate everyone around them. And if they can unlock each other's full potential, the Lakers are going to be one of the most terrifying teams in the league. Their chemistry is still a work in progress, but even at this early stage, the foundation is there. If they figure out how to complement each other's skill sets, they could be unstoppable. Luka is an offensive force unlike anything we have ever seen. He is scoring 27.5 points per game, which puts him ahead of 99% of players in the league. That is elite production. But what makes it even more impressive is that he is doing it while taking a high number of shots. He is attempting over 20 field goals per game, yet his efficiency remains among the best in the league. His effective field goal percentage sits at 54%, and his true shooting percentage is at 58.4%. That is outrageous efficiency for someone who has the ball in his hands this much. He is not just a volume scorer, he is an incredibly efficient one. And that kind of efficiency, combined with his ability to create his own shot, makes him a nightmare for opposing defenses. But Luka is not just a scorer. His passing is on another level. He is averaging 7.7 assists per game and assisting on 33.15% of his teammates' field goals when he is on the floor. That puts him ahead of 96% of players in the league. He is one of the best facilitators in the game, and his ability to read the floor is elite. When he has the ball, he is constantly scanning the court, searching for the best possible play. He is creating 18.5 points per game just through his passing alone. And that number is only going to go up once he fully adjusts to the Lakers system. His ability to manipulate defenses, make quick reads, and generate easy buckets for his teammates is what makes him one of the most dangerous offensive players in basketball. But that is not all. Luka is also one of the best rebounding guards in the entire league. He is pulling down 8.2 rebounds per game, which ranks him ahead of 98% of players. That is unheard of for someone who spends so much time handling the ball. He is grabbing 7.4 defensive rebounds per game, meaning he is not just relying on his big men to clean up misses, he is actively ending possessions and starting fast breaks himself. And while his offensive rebounding numbers are not elite, the fact that he is still grabbing nearly one per game shows that he is always engaged and looking to make an impact in every possible way. And here's the thing, his defense has quietly improved. Luka is averaging 1.9 steals per game and contesting shots at a higher rate than ever before. His defensive rating sits at 110.7, which ranks him ahead of 82% of players. That is huge. For a Lakers team that desperately needs perimeter defense, he is proving that he can be an active defender who forces turnovers, disrupts passing lanes, and makes life miserable for opposing ball handlers. He has always been known for his offense, but this season, he is showing that he can be a two-way player. Now let's shift to LeBron. He is still one of the most dominant players in the league. He is averaging 24.5 points per game, ranking him ahead of 96% of players. That level of production at his age is unheard of. But what makes it even crazier is that his efficiency is off the charts. His effective field goal percentage is 57.7, and his true shooting percentage is 60.5. That is ridiculous for someone who is still carrying such a heavy offensive workload. Most players start to slow down as they get older, but LeBron keeps evolving and finding new ways to dominate. His scoring, efficiency, and all-around impact make him just as dangerous now as he was in his prime. And it is not just about scoring. LeBron's playmaking is still among the best in the game. He is averaging 7.4 assists per game and assisting on 32.5% of his teammates' field goals. His vision, decision-making, and ability to create shots for others are still at an elite level. When he is running the offense, everything flows smoothly. He knows exactly when to attack, when to pass, and when to slow things down. And just like Luka, his passing is responsible for generating a massive number of points every game. But here's the crazy part. LeBron is still an elite defender when he locks in. He is averaging 1.5 steals per game, and his defensive rating sits at 111.3. He might not be the same lockdown defender he was in his prime, but he is still a difference maker on that end of the floor. He uses his size, strength, and intelligence to make plays, contest shots, and force turnovers. And in key moments, he can still take over defensively and shut down opposing stars. When you put all of this together, it is clear why the Lakers are so dangerous. They have two of the best offensive players in the league, and both of them can also make an impact in other areas of the game. If they continue to build chemistry and maximize each other's strengths, this team has the potential to be an absolute powerhouse. LeBron is still the best playmaker on this team, and it is not even close. He is averaging 9 assists per game and assisting on 43.49% of his teammates' field goals when he is on the floor. That puts him ahead of 99% of players. His ability to scan the court, make precise passes, and create easy shots for his teammates is completely unmatched. He is generating over 21 points per game just through his passing alone. That is what makes him so special. He does not need to take a ton of shots to completely control the game. He can dominate just by orchestrating the offense, getting teammates involved, and making everything easier for everyone around him. And the way he does it is effortless. Whether it is a full court outlet pass, a no-look dime in traffic, or a perfectly timed lob, LeBron just sees the game differently than everyone else. He can turn any possession into an easy bucket, and that is why he has been one of the greatest playmakers in NBA history. He is not just a passer, he is a conductor. And the Lakers' offense moves in perfect sync when he is at the helm. Every movement on the floor is dictated by him. And when he has the ball in his hands, you can feel the defense panic. They know they have no way to stop him from making the right play. And just like Luka, LeBron is still an absolute force on the glass. He is pulling down 7.8 rebounds per game, ranking him ahead of 96% of players. His defensive rebounding percentage sits at 19.47%, meaning he is securing a massive chunk of available rebounds whenever he is on the floor. He is not just standing around and letting the big men do the work. He is actively battling on the boards, tracking the ball, and making sure the Lakers control possession as often as possible. And while he is not crashing the offensive glass at an elite rate, his presence alone changes how teams defend. Even if he is not grabbing the board himself, his ability to position himself forces defenders to account for him at all times. He is always lurking, always ready to snatch a rebound and immediately push the break. And that is where he is at his most dangerous, when he grabs a board, turns up the floor, and forces the defense to react. He is a one-man fast break, and that has not changed. Even after 21 seasons, defensively, LeBron has been rock solid. He is averaging nearly a steal and a block per game while using his size, strength, and instincts to disrupt offenses. His defensive rating is at 115.4. Not elite, but still better than most players at his position. And when it matters most, he can still step up and make game-changing plays. He is not the defensive stopper he was in his prime, but he is still more than capable of locking in, contesting shots, and forcing opponents into difficult decisions. And here's the thing, LeBron's defensive impact is not just about numbers, it is about presence. When he locks in, he can shut down entire possessions just by being in the right spot. He knows how to rotate, he knows how to read passing lanes, and he knows exactly when to step up and make a play. He is not a guy you can attack over and over again. He is still a player who can make things uncomfortable for even the best offensive players in the world. And in key moments, that is going to be crucial for this Lakers team. But here's where things get really interesting. LeBron and Luka have never played with a player like each other before. That is what makes this pairing so unique. LeBron has never played with someone who dominates the ball the way Luka does, and Luka has never played with someone who can take over an entire offense like LeBron. That means there is going to be a learning curve. They have to figure out when to take control, when to defer, and how to make the most out of each other's skill sets. And that process is not going to happen overnight. It takes time to build chemistry, to develop trust, and to fully understand each other's tendencies. There will be moments where they step on each other's toes, where the offense stalls, and where things do not flow as smoothly as they should. But once they work out the kinks, the rest of the league is in serious trouble. Because here is the reality. These two are not just elite scorers. They are not just elite playmakers. And they are not just elite rebound. They are two of the smartest, most skilled offensive players in the entire world. And they are going to be running the game at all times. Defenses are going to have an impossible task. How do you stop both of them? If you send extra help to Luka, LeBron will pick you apart. If you collapse on LeBron, Luka will make you pay. That is what makes this duo so terrifying. They complement each other in ways that no other superstar pairing has before. LeBron's passing, Luka's scoring, LeBron's size, Luka's pace. Every piece of their games fits together like a puzzle. And when they put it all together, there's not a team in the league that can stop them. The key to everything is going to be figuring out the perfect balance. Right now, Luka has a usage rate of 32.5%, while LeBron is sitting at 30.5%. That means they are both handling the ball a lot, but there is still room to improve how they share responsibilities. They both have ridiculous court vision, so it is just a matter of learning each other's movements, understanding each other's tendencies, and developing that natural chemistry on the floor. The more they play together, the smoother it will get. And the scariest part, this is only after one game. Imagine how much better they are going to be after 10 games, or 20, or 50. The chemistry is only going to get stronger as they build trust and get more comfortable. The Lakers' offense is already explosive, but once LeBron and Luka truly figure out their rhythm together, it is going to be flat out unstoppable. Teams are already struggling to contain them now. What happens when they fully understand each other's strengths and weaknesses? The possibilities are endless, and the rest of the league should be on high alert. This duo has the potential to be one of the most dominant offensive pairings in NBA history. Both of them are capable of dropping 30 points on any given night. Both of them can dish out double-digit assists without breaking a sweat. And both of them are elite rebounders for their positions. The level of versatility they bring is unlike anything the Lakers have ever had. This is not just about two stars coming together. This is about two generational playmakers who can completely take over a game in every possible way. And here's what makes them even scarier. Neither one of them has to carry the entire load anymore. In past seasons, LeBron has had to do everything from scoring to facilitating to leading the entire offense. But now he has Luka to share that responsibility. And for Luka, this is the first time in his career that he has had a teammate who can take over a game at any moment, the way LeBron can. That means they can keep each other fresh, avoid burning out, and stay efficient for longer stretches. They do not have to shoulder all of the pressure by themselves. They can rely on each other, which is a luxury neither of them has had before. The Lakers' entire season is going to come down to these two. The supporting cast is solid, but at the end of the day, it is LeBron and Luka who have to lead the way. If they can master playing off of each other at an elite level, the Lakers are going to be championship contenders, plain and simple. They have all the talent they need. The challenge now is putting the pieces together and maximizing their potential as a duo. And based on what we have already seen from their first game together, the potential is undeniable. Luka is an absolute superstar. LeBron is still one of the top tier players in the league, and when you put them together, the ceiling is through the roof. They just need time to perfect their chemistry, and once they do, the Lakers are going to be an unstoppable force. And let's not forget, the more they play together, the more dangerous they will become. Right now, they are still learning each other's tendencies, but imagine how lethal they will be once they reach that point where everything is instinctive. The moment when they can read each other's minds on the court and react without hesitation. That is when this team is going to reach its full potential. The bottom line is simple. LeBron and Luka are the key to everything. They control the offense, they set the tone, and they are the ones who will determine just how far this Lakers team can go. If they play at their absolute peak together, nobody is stopping them. The rest of the league better be ready, because once they get fully locked in, it is going to be game over. This is not just another superstar pairing, this is a duo with the potential to change the balance of power in the NBA. If you guys enjoyed this, I'll be posting every day during this season. I genuinely appreciate if you could subscribe. Thanks for watching.